Hi, I'm Dr. Donnie Wilson, and welcome to How Humans Heal. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about 5 most common myths when it comes to HPV or human papillomavirus, because I want to take a stand and be part of the change in women's healthcare as well as men's healthcare when it comes to preventing HPV related cancer, which is actually increasing worldwide. We most often hear about cervical cancer for women, which is considered the third most common cancer in the United States. And there's also other cancers caused by HPV, including vaginal, anal, penile, and oral cancers. So, this is something that really, as humans, we cannot risk ignoring, and we can't risk staying in hiding, and we can't risk having these myths out there any longer. And so this has become my mission to really stand up and speak out on behalf of the millions of women who are being diagnosed as HPV positive and the struggle they're facing in terms of their internal struggle on what to do about this virus and their medical struggle. And I also want to stand up for the millions of women who are being diagnosed with HPV related cancer, because all of these women are feeling too ashamed. They feel ashamed and embarrassed to say anything openly themselves. Most cases, when I speak to women, they feel too embarrassed to share their name or even themselves in a video form because of the stigma associated with this virus. And I feel like the stigma of the virus is ending up putting women at more risk of cancer. And this goes for men as well. The problem is that men are not screened for HPV, so they don't know that they have HPV, even though men still are at risk of HPV related cancer. So, in this video, you'll hear me mostly referring to women, and that's because it's women who currently are finding out that they have HPV virus. And with that information, they're handed a heavy piece of information to carry, of knowing what can I do next, and to feel alone about it. They oftentimes are only talking with their gynecologist about this virus. And the gynecologist, this is the first myth, is the gynecologists are often telling women that all they can do is wait. Wait and see if this virus is going to cause abnormal cells or cancer. Wait and see another 6 months or a year of their lives to see if it happens to go away on its own, which in some cases this virus does do. It can go away on its own. The issue is that for many women, it's not going away on its own, and it's persisting, and it's leading to numerous medical procedures and sometimes years or decades of women's life in a state of fear, alone, and ashamed. And that's why I'm here speaking for them, sharing with them, and especially those women who have chosen to work with me as a naturopathic doctor, midwife, and clinical nutritionist. I have the training in the background to help these women, to protect them from cancer and abnormal cells. And every day in my practice, I see them achieving this, achieving HPV negative, achieving normal results where they're going into their doctor, their gynecologist for a recheck, and the doctor's saying, your cells look better than good. You have graduated. You do not have to come back for a year for a recheck. And then, even after a year, the doctors are telling them they don't have to come back for several years. That's after following a proven protocol that I've developed over the past couple decades of helping women. And I feel it's time for me to put that out to the world and say, listen, you are not on your own. These myths need to be broken, and there is help for you to break free of the struggle with HPV. So let's talk through these 5 myths. The first one I mentioned, which is all you can do is wait. And that is such a myth. That is absolutely wrong. There is so much you can do instead of just waiting to see if this virus causes abnormal cells. There are research studies on proven diet changes, nutrients, herbs, and other approaches that I see helping my patients every day. The thing is that many women are then left feeling like they need to do all this research on their own. and they have other career paths and other things going on in their lives. It's impossible for them to do all the research to know what's that proven protocol. And why should they need to do that? Why should they recreate the wheel when, as a practitioner, I have that information in terms of the products, the doses that are going to be effective and safe and going to help them to not just wait and see, but be proactive at getting this virus to negative. When HPV tests negative, it's not able to cause abnormal cells, it's not able to cause cancer, and it's not able to be transmitted to other people. So, negative on an HPV test is what we're going for, and it's absolutely possible. This is the myth number 2. Most times, women are hearing from their practitioners that it's not possible to get HPV to negative, and I absolutely disagree. My patients have proven it to me time and time again. Again, year after year, case after case, we see that when they implement the comprehensive protocol that I show them, that they are getting to negative. And it's not just that they're getting negative temporarily, they're able to get to negative and keep it negative for years, decades. I hear back from women who worked with me years ago, and the virus is still testing negative. So I can tell you from my experience that it's not just a temporary negative, that this is actually your body learning how to protect you from the virus over the long term. And that is absolutely possible. So, any of you who've been hearing that it's not possible to get rid of HPV, I am here to break that myth for you. And I hope that starts to give you a moment of pause to say, wait a minute, I've been functioning thinking that there was nothing I could do, which is what a lot of millions of women are experiencing around the world, left in a state of worry about, are they going to get cancer? How's this going to affect their relationship? How's this going to affect their ability to have a pregnancy? How's this going to affect their life? This is a chronic, constant state of fear and worry where women are blaming themselves, blaming others. In fact, this is one of the other myths. Myth number 3 is that it's women's fault and that women should feel ashamed of this, that they should have known or they should have done something in the past in order to prevent this. Women are left thinking maybe they shouldn't have had sex, maybe they should have had a vaccine, maybe they should. There's so many shoulds. And the issue is that these are really myths because this is such a common virus. There's other viruses out there that are not so common, but HPV is a very common virus. Studies show that we are most all exposed to this virus at some point in our lives. So it's not about should have done something in the past. We have to face the fact that we're all human. Humans have sex, and at some point, we're all going to get exposed to this virus. Vaccine or no vaccine, we're going to get exposed. So it's not about blaming ourselves. It's not about blaming some other person that we had sex with, because that's not something that we can track down or avoid. The only thing that we can do is release that myth and release ourselves from this blaming game that we play when it comes to HPV. We have to let go of those myths because that's not going to solve it. That's not going to prevent cancer. In fact, from what I see, when women get into this state of fear and shame and anger and blaming themselves and blaming others, the studies actually show that that state of mind perpetuates the virus, perpetuates the risk of cancer. And so we need to see clearly that that is a myth, that blaming ourselves and blaming others and being ashamed and being at fault is a myth that needs to stop. And it's only when we can stop blaming ourselves and others and forgive ourselves and realize we're human, this is a virus humans are exposed to, and we can break this stigma that's a myth as well, then we can actually be healing. We can actually be finding that acceptance of ourselves, acceptance of ourselves as humans, acceptance of ourselves as women, and realizing that really what we need in order to fend off this virus is to give ourselves the support, the emotional support, the compassion, the physical support, the resetting and recovery from what we've been through. That's how we can fend off this virus. Hi, I'm Dr. Donnie, and I want to invite you to attend my next Heal HPV Worldwide Workshop. This is an online event that's going to be 3 days where we're going to be able to go into detail about HPV or human papilloma virus, what it is, how to identify it on your pap smear, what your pap smear results mean, and really how to help you transform your health and your body so that you can protect yourself from this virus that's associated with cancer risk. I know that you're not hearing this from your regular doctor's office, and I know that you're probably feeling really afraid and really alone and potentially even ashamed at finding out that you are testing positive for HPV. And I'm here after more than 23 years of helping women to be able to share success stories with you and for you to know for sure that it's possible to protect yourself from this virus, prevent it from causing abnormal cells, and actually get to freedom from HPV virus once and for all. I really believe that everyone should have this information, and so that's why I put on this worldwide workshop, and I'd love for you to join me. It's something that you can find at the link below, and sign up and join me today. I'll see you there. Another myth is that we're going to get it again and again, right? That if we have sex again with a same person or another person, that we're going to get HPV virus again. That's a myth. That's not the way the HPV virus works. I know that there's other viruses out there where we think of it as if you get re-exposed, like if you get exposed to a cold virus again in the future, you might catch a cold again in the future. But the HPV virus is not that way. Our human bodies, our immune system can learn to protect us from HPV. We have the capability to mount an immune response to HPV. And once our body knows how to protect us from this virus, from my experience, when women are then re-exposed to the virus, it no longer can go to positive because their bodies are able to protect them. So it's essentially a process of helping women to train their immune system, their nervous system, their microbiome, their hormones to protect them from this virus. And once your body knows how to protect you, it doesn't matter if you're exposed again because your system remembers and knows how to protect you. So that this myth about, oh my gosh, but then I'm going to have sex again and I'm going to get it again, and so then you feel like you're going in circles and you can't get anywhere. It's a myth. Please set it aside and realize that if we take the right proven steps in a systematic approach, we can help your body to not just fend off this virus in the moment, but to learn how to protect you going forward, even if you're exposed to the virus again. And here's the next myth, which is that maybe it's just about taking a single substance. A lot of times, women who call me tell me they're taking a substance called AHCC, which is active hexose correlated compound, which is a solid extract of shiitake mushrooms, which is a beautiful thing. Shiitake mushrooms and other types of mushrooms like reishi mushroom and Coriolis mushroom have been shown to be anti-cancer and to actually help our immune system fend off viruses. And so mushrooms can be very effective, and I include them in my protocol as one aspect of the protocol. But that's not just the whole protocol. And so what the myth is this myth that we're going to chase after a silver bullet, a magic pill, a single pill or a single substance that's going to solve this. And what I'm telling you is that's a myth because it's not about a single substance or a single treatment. That's not the way this virus works. It's not going to help. Either that or you then become dependent on that single substance for the rest of your life. And to me, that's not an effective treatment. An effective treatment is when we can actually get to the root cause and really address what's making you susceptible. What are the factors that are making you susceptible to this virus that are gonna, if we address them, now your body can learn how to protect you. And those factors vary from person to person. I have other videos about the factors that are making people susceptible to HPV, and I encourage you to please watch those additional videos at How Humans Heal and to contact me and sign up for the Heal HPV Worldwide Workshop that I offer online for free, anonymously, so that you can learn not just about the myths and how to break the stigma and break free of the fear related to HPV, but also so that you can understand your unique susceptibility factors so that you can systematically address them. And not only that, but connect with a community of women. Can you imagine, after being in such hiding and shame and fear, which only perpetuates the virus and the risk of cancer, that women are able to come together in a safe environment to talk about their fears, to talk about the trauma they've been through, the medical trauma, the relationship trauma, the traumas in their life that are been making them susceptible to HPV. Research shows that trauma makes us susceptible, including abuse. It makes us susceptible to HPV. We need to be able to connect about it, heal from it, look specifically at how all of those stresses and traumas are making us susceptible to HPV, including changes in the microbiome, changes in the stress hormones and neurotransmitters, changes in nutrient levels, nutrient depletions. We need to go through each of these factors one by one and address them for you as an individual. And as we do that, your body responds, and it has an innate ability to protect you from this virus, which comes to life, and your body starts working for you. I see it again and again. Just look at my website and you will see hundreds of testimonials from women who've worked with me in this process and have been able to break free of the shame and fear of HPV and to heal their cervix, heal their vagina, and prevent the risk of cancer now and into the future. And they ask me to please share their message, to please share with other women that this is possible, because they want everyone to know what they've discovered, which is that these things that I've been talking about are truly myths. You actually can get proactive. You can get help to fend off this virus and protect yourself from it. And you don't have to be doing it on your own. I'm here again with all of my research and my credentials and my education and my support system to help you. And I'm in the process of training other practitioners with my protocol so that we can truly reach every woman in the world to let them know that this is possible. I completely feel like it's absolutely outdated the way the medical system is handling HPV. We women are turning to the medical system hoping for help, but what they're finding out is that the medical system, and this is not just in the United States, but I hear from women around the world, they turn to the medical system, and the medical system really ultimately is based on using pharmaceuticals and surgery. And yes, we're grateful that the medical system allows us to be able to test for abnormal cells and perform procedures and surgery when necessary and treatment for cancer when necessary. Absolutely. So it's not to say that you should not access medical care. I want to be clear. You should access medical care for what they can provide, but you also need to understand that they're not trained in nutrition and how to change your diet. They're not trained in how to help you recover from stress and trauma. They're not trained in how to use nutrients and herbs and homeopathic remedies effectively. It's just not part of this medical training. And so to access that information, you should not be left on your own to figure it out. You should not be left for whatever marketing is out there for supplements. You should not be left on your own with this. You should have a practitioner who can help you. And that's why I make it this the focus of my practice and my business, to be able to give you a place, a safe space and place where you can access help, you can access information and resources, and you can implement it so that you also can break free of these myths and break free of HPV and be able to move on with your life without having to think about this ever again, because you'll then know that your body can protect you. Thanks again for joining me here at How Humans Heal. I look forward to the next episode and having you join me. So please join my newsletter, subscribe wherever you're listening. I hope you'll join me for the next episode. I'm so grateful for you listening and learning, and I would love to hear from you if you need more information about how I can help you. Have a good rest of the day. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to How Humans Heal. If you liked this episode, leave a rating and a review. And for more resources, visit drdonnie.com.